Hello everyone, it's me. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be my first makeup tutorial ever, so I hope that you enjoy it. And I wanted to bring you one of my favorite looks, which involves a red eyeshadow, which is not that common. So if you want to know how to create this look, please keep on watching. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to be applying moisturizer. So depending on your skin type, you're going to be choosing one or another. I'm going to be using a mattifying cream for this because I have combination to oily skin. So we're going to be putting a little bit. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. And we're going to be applying a little bit of chapstick, you know, to have moisturized lips. And I'm going to be spraying a little bit of tonic. Okay, so now this skin is not prepped. We're going to be waiting for it to dry a little bit before going on to the priming of our face. Okay, so now we are going to be applying tape. Tape is your best friend. I know that some people don't like to use tape for makeup, but I just really like the sharp edge that it gives, and I like to use tape. If you don't like using tape, you don't have to. You can just clean afterwards. You take a little bit of makeup remover and you just slightly take off whatever is left. But yeah, as I've said, I'm gonna be using tape. So we're going to be taking some of the glue off on the hand and we're going to be putting on the tape there. So there you go. Make sure that it connects the end of your eye to the peak of your brow. So, same with the other eye here. Be careful with your eyelashes because you know I'm going to move a little bit here, the mirror, so that you can see. So be careful when putting on the tape. You don't want to get your eyelashes stuck on the way. The measure is not going to be exactly the same from one eye to another, but yeah. There you go. So now we're gonna go onto priming. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is in the shade Original, which is the one that I always use. I recommend you to invest on a good primer such as this one because you're gonna see differences. Don't forget your lower lash line because we're going to be applying shadows there. So there we go. Now we're going to be blending it in. You can create really dope looks without really having the skills, because I'm not a professional makeup artist whatsoever. I just learned how to do makeup by watching YouTube videos such as this one. So I wanted, you know, to contribute and get out my own. But it really is not going to be professional. So now to set the eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using yellowish color. I mean, this is from the W7 In The Bath eyeshadow palette, but you don't have to use this one. You can use whatever yellow eyeshadow that you have. And so we're going to be taking just a fluffy brush to dust it all over the eye. This is just going to be setting the primer. It's not going to really apply any color, but it's just going to be a good transition for the other shades that you're going to be putting on top. Okay, so I'm going to be taking from the Navy and Nude Eye palette from Bobbi Brown. this shade over here, but well, just a matte taupe brown to define a little bit the crease with a fluffy brush. So we work it into the eye crease like that. Doesn't have to be too brown, it's just a guide. So from this palette that I showed you before, which is a cheaper alternative, this one here is pretty similar. This one is called chocolate. So for example, just taking chocolate now, so you can see both of the colors have a pretty similar finish. Just creating a little bit of depth on the eye. So now that we have that, don't go all the way to the inner corner, because that's going to be, you know, making it all look muddy, and we don't want that. So just stick from the middle of the eye outwards. There, don't go past that point. So now we're going to be introducing color. Yes, I'm going to be using this sort of eyeshadows, which are from, you know, those generic eyeshadow palettes that you can get from eBay. This one is in fact from eBay. So I'm going to be using a little bit of this hot pink over here, but just any hot pink will do, with cool tone. Okay, so we're going to be putting that right on top of the brown. We're going to be taking it a little bit up towards the brow, but not all the way up. So we'll finish around here, around this part of the eye, and there you stop. So this is going to be giving a good transition color for the red eyeshadow that we're going to be putting on the lid. So just blend it all nice and smooth, so that you cannot see harsh lines if you look at the eye up close. Okay, and now I'm going to be putting a little bit of this hot pink that is above the other one, because this one has a warmer undertone, I would say. So we're going to be playing with both colds and worms. As you can see, this one is a lot more pigmented. So just tap away the brush, because we don't want to look crazy at this point. Okay, so blend that away. I'm going to be taking another eyeshadow brush to blend it out even more. I'm going to take this type of brush, like similar to the 217 from MAC, I think. Fine, but still don't go all the way to the inner corner. Just stop over here, as you can see. So there we go. That's going to be our transition, and the tape is going to stop us from going farther, so that's going to be very useful. But make sure that you continue the eyeshadow just all the way up to the tape, so that we don't have gaps here in this side. Okay, so there we go. Bring it a little bit upwards as well to create a more cut shape eye. If you don't like cut shaped eyeshadows, just do it a little bit more on, you know, a rounded edge like that. But I like to extend a little bit my eyeshadow so that my eye looks a little bit more dramatic, I would say. I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette for this one. I'm going to be using Fetish, which is the red shade from here. And I'm going to be taking another brush, another blending brush like the previous one. A little bit on the tip there. Tap away because these eyeshadows are very pigmented, so we don't want a lot of darkness. And apply this one on the edge. When you're blending, just take as much time as you need, because we want this to be, you know, very well blended. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a pencil brush. This one is from e.l.f. It's the contour brush, this little rounded shape brush. And I'm going to be taking a dark gray or a light black, such as this one, from this palette again, to create a little bit more depth. So we take a little bit right at the crease of the outer corner, just place it over there. And now again with the clean brush that I used before, make it all blend together. Okay, so now we are going to be using NARS's Exhibit A blush, which is a deep red matte blush. And I'm going to be using shading brush like this one on the blush. And be careful because it is really intense. If you don't have a red eyeshadow that is as intense, just use a blush if you have one, like I'm going to be doing. So there you go. As you can see, it's really intense. Okay, so now that we have applied the red eyeshadow and we have blended everything together, I'm going to be applying a little bit of this pink over here, which is a little pinch lighter than this one. So this is going to bring back the pink, because with the blending we have lost a little bit of that intensity. So we are going to be buffing some pink again with a blending brush. There. You can make it as pink as you like, or just you can even skip the pink completely. You don't have to use it, but I feel like it gives a nice touch of color apart from the red. So there we go. Okay, so you can see that it's pinker. All right, and now I'm going to be taking MAC's 239 eyeshadow brush with this matte white over here, just because this is not very intense and I really like how it catches the light, even though it's so white, so it's a little bit intense for highlighting. But I really like the final touch that it gives over here with these cold pinks that we have under it. So we are going to be placing it there. And now with the blending again, be careful with your hair. Now I'm going to be doing the lower lash line, and I'm taking this shade brush again, and I'm going to go towards the red first. again, so Exhibit A from NARS. And I'm going to be applying it very close to the lashes. Don't take it too far because we don't want the red eyeshadow to go that far down because it can make us look a little bit sick. So be careful when you're applying red around the eyes. You can still do it, of course, but make sure that you integrate it well with the rest of the makeup, because we don't want to look like we are sick. That's not very appealing. On the same brush, tap away the excess, and we're going to apply it on the outer part, connecting with the outer corner there. And last but not least, take a little bit of black and place it right in the end. Take it a little bit far in. If you have a little bit of eyeshadow under the line, don't worry, because we can take that out with a cotton pad. So now, taking a pointy brush like this one, full of eyeshadow, and this W7 Midnight palette, and I'm going to be using this very light shade. So since this one is not very pigmented, I'm going to be applying a little bit of Fix Plus, just toner, whatever you have to make the eyeshadow wet. Okay, so now we just have to apply mascara, false lashes if you wish, and we will be done with this eye. Okay, so this is the finished look for the eyes, and now we're going to be working on the face. First of all, I'm going to be priming with Benefits Professional. So we are going to be applying the primer all over the face. This is going to make the base last a lot longer, and it's also going to fill in pores, scars, and it also mattifies. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to be using Max Factor's Lasting Performance. This is in 109 Natural Bronze. And I'm going to be using this Beauty Professional Kabuki brush thing. I'm going to be applying a little bit onto my hand, here. A bunch. And we're going to be applying dots all over the face. It may look like it's a little bit dark on me, but this is my shade, and after all, it will all be nicely incorporated. Okay, so now I'm going to be blending it. And now that everything is on, I like to take a wet beauty blender to just mix it all together and give a more skin-like texture. Don't forget to take it down the neck, because we don't want to look like we have a mask. And make sure that the corners of your nose are well blended in. So now we're going to be setting the under eye. I'm going to be baking with translucent powder and the beauty blender. So you take a little bit of powder like that, and Now I'm going to be doing my brows. Just fill them in with eyeshadow, but you can use brow pomade, you can use whatever that works best for you. I prefer the look of eyeshadow, so I think that it looks more natural, and I don't really like very unnatural brows on myself, so I just fill the areas that are a little bit sparse. Okay, so now I'm going to be dusting away the baking. This is an optional step, you don't have to bake if you don't like the finish. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing a little bit of contour, and for that I'm going to be using Makeup Forever's sculpting kit. I'm going to use the darkest side with, this is another Beauty Professional brush. This is the Contour Face Buffer, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of the dark shade. And now, right on the cheekbone is where I'm putting the shade. Okay. So I'm going to be taking an angled brush for applying my blush. This is from Kiko, one of the old brushes that they have. And I'm going to be using as well Narcissus Exhibit A just to tie the look together with the eyes. So I'm going to be taking just a little bit of blush because this is very pigmented. We don't want to look like a clown, so be careful when applying the blush. I like to apply it for my face shape from the middle of the cheek upwards. I don't like applying it on the apples, but you can apply it wherever you feel like it suits you more. So put in a little bit, not too much. And now, finally, if you like to glow, I'm going to be using this highlighter from Bella Pierre's. It's called Beam, and this Real Techniques setting brush. So there you go, pick up a little bit, and right on the top of the cheekbone is where we will apply the highlight. So now I like to apply a little bit of highlighter right on top of the arch of the brow, because I feel like it suits my face shape very well. So there you go, a little bit. You know, you can apply highlighter really wherever you want to, because nowadays we're crazy with it. And I like to do a little bit of it down the bridge of the nose, but until here, because I have pretty big nose, so I don't like to highlight the end of it. There you go. Now I do a little bit on the Cupid's bow. A tiny little bit right below the arch. Again, this will lift your brow up. It's an optical illusion, but it looks really nice. So there you go. Blend it, because you don't want it to be super intense. And there you go. And last but not least, I'm going to be doing the lips. For that, I'm going to be using Colourpop's Ultra Matte lipstick in the shade Avenue. You can go on with nude lip if you feel like this color is a little bit too much, but I quite like how it looks with the eyes. Okay, so this is the finished look. And now I'm going to be setting it with a setting spray, and we will be done. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubts or any comments, you can leave them below. I hope you liked it, and see you soon. Bye everyone.